What is up, guys? Julian's Way here, and today I hope you guys are having a great day. By the way, in today's video I want to talk about this guy right here. If you do not know him, he is the Arnold lookalike, or was the Arnold lookalike. I'm gonna get into that just now, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, he's had a lot of ups and downs, adversities, comeback injuries, back into therapy and all sorts of stuff. But I really discovered this guy like maybe, I do not know, 10 years ago or less, when I saw a video of him on this guy that interviews, does videos on natural bodybuilders or people that do shows and so on. It was like way back in the day. So I will roll that clip and show you what he looked like back then and the shows that he did leading up into the NPC and so on. So I just thought it would be great to do a story on him because he's like a on and off sort of a comeback kid, and so I thought it would be interesting to share. So here we go. So this is when I first saw him in this video by I think it was Simply Shredded or Uptech or something like that. So, and I thought to myself, wow, this guy really looks like Arnold. Not in terms of his physique completely, but look at him. You right away, you might think, I asked someone if that looks like Arnold, or who they think that is, which bodybuilder or something like that, and they said Arnold, but they were not up to par with what's going on now. So he was like 22 years old back then, Austrian Dutch. So we're not gonna get into his nationality and all that, right? But I'm just making reference because people still wants to know stuff like that, and from time to time they would, if I show them Arnold lookalike, I would make reference to him. So yeah, so this was like about 7 years ago video. I do not know what his age is right now, but put aside that, that's not what I'm gonna get into. This is where I started to discover him and first saw him. So let's get into the other shows that he did lead. Alright, so let me get right into it. So he did a early show in his teens. He won the Teenage Under 19 Years Old as just an amateur show. Took a year off in between jobs and stuff like that, his personal thing going on. Then he went back to the WFF organization, won his class, came in runner-up in the Open in 2011. Then a little after, he went back to his hometown and brought third in another Mr. Universe qualifier at 20 years old. So he then did this show, which is the Junior Mr. Universe at 21 years old. He earned his first Mr. Universe title. So this right here, this clip here, this video that's what you're looking at. That's this show. Then he took some time off, decided he wanted to do the army, didn't go well. 2013 he did an international show, won his class, came in runner-up again. So he went back and forth with shows over the years. Then in like 2013 he decided to put on some weight, gained about 20 pounds according to him, to do a Mr. Universe show in Greece. But before I get into that, I gotta say he already looks good here for a junior guy, and he does look big. So let's see what 20 pounds of muscle more looks like. That's what it looks like. So yeah, 20 pounds more muscle, as you can see right here. And what did he place here in this show? He placed 5th, guys. He placed 5th, yeah. So didn't stress much on this show, I guess, and I think it's because of conditioning. His conditioning isn't that up to par. So that's why, even though he gained 20 pounds. So that's the thing about bodybuilding. It's other aspects. So yeah, this show here is the same show that he trained for in this video, the video that I mentioned earlier when I discovered him. That was the competition he was training for, and to me he looks damn good here. He looks good. But 3 weeks out, but it just goes to show maybe his carb up, his fat and so on. So I'm not gonna get into that, but that's how it goes sometimes. Then he went on to put on some more muscle in 2014, like 20 pounds more again, he said, in his competition history. And in this show here, he in South Korea, Mr. Universe. He plays very well. So look at him. Next 20 pounds. Do you see that? Yeah, I definitely see some improvements in his conditioning and size. So yeah, I guess what he said is true, and he did look good here. So let's see a few guys that he had to battle with, or the guys that he came down to. So these were a few of the guys. So he went through battle back and forth with these guys, and yes guys, he came out on top. So he won the show Miss Universe in Korea in 2014, and it just goes to show that he didn't give up. He just kept going and going, persistent, and just improved. So that show in 2014 was an amateur show, and he got his pro card. And he went in 2015. He went to do the WFF Mr. Universe, and he won the overall again. He looks damn good here. You can see more separation. Definitely, the tan, the light, and everything was on point. So yeah, give him credit for this. He looked damn amazing. It's not over guys, more shows, more shows. So he went on to the USA and did more shows like on the Muscle Beach, not that as competitive as the NPC shows that he would later on decide to go classic and do 2 shows in 2016, which he won both the Excalibur games and also the Iron games. Well, as something like the Excalibur games. So yeah, he did came out on top of these shows, but he did not turn pro. However, he'd have to do something like the Arnold Classic Amateur or one of those kind of shows to even be considered an Olympian candidate to go into the Olympia to battle with the big boys. But before that can happen, he hooked up with this guy here, Chris Bumstead, #1 classic physique champion of the world, and they did a bicep curl. This was like 2 years ago still, and they went back and forth. They just keep going and going after it and work up to a weight that they wanted to achieve, some kind of world record they were trying to do or something. I'm pretty sure this was Calum's idea. I do not think this was Chris's idea anyway. So they kept on going and going until they probably got up to the weight that was the goal weight to do the bicep curl, and they did not get it right up. I guess it probably did not get a full range of movement, and there you go, and snap bicep tear, and that was it for Calum and his left bicep. So therapy, treatment, hospital, you know how that goes. Alright, well, not everybody does. Some people don't get injured and stuff, or didn't get this kind of tear or this kind of injury, so I guess I cannot say we know how it goes. Then back home for recovery, of course, and then he eventually got back into the gym, working out, getting his strength back, mobility exercises, getting that blood flow, you know, getting his body to respond the way it used to. And that is really important when you're trying to get back on track, you know, just slowly ease into it and see how the body responds and so on, not to like risk any further injuries. So he did that and got back on track to an extent, working out and so on, going on adventures, and this adventure right here is the one that really cost him, and this is when things really went bad for him and really went downhill. Alright, so he got up to this, he was going to go jump off a mountain like a bungee jump or something like that, and he got some lessons and so on. He had the guy there, but things did not go well. That's when they had to take him up and recovered him. Good thing he did not completely went right down off. He got stuck and they assisted him. The ambulance came and he took him and he was out. Alright, that was it for him. Probably about, I do not know, more than a year of recovery, therapy, all that stuff. This was even worse than the bicep tear, really way more worse. A lot of therapy back and forth. He had to learn how to even walk again, to like walk in clutches. I think this was one of his first outings that he had after that, so he was really in clutches for a while. Then he had to learn how to walk. He had to do therapy, mobility exercises, just to walk without the clutches, of course. So it was a lot of steps, a lot of things to be done, a lot of patience here. I can just imagine it because of my injuries that I had with my back, and that took me like about 2 months or more to get back on track. So here he is flexing and getting his groove on, getting back bit of a normal life in terms of walking around and getting his daily activity done with less stress and challenges. So of course he then got back into the gym, doing his thing, working his way around, and as you could see, he downsized. Of course, he probably went a bit more natural for a while, and just back and forth, back at it, trying to get his way back. And like maybe about, let's see, less than 2 years. This was still 2018 and this is 2020 recently. You can still see the quad does not have that size. It's not symmetrical to the other leg. So yeah, that's going to happen. I guess he did not get it up to there, but he wants to do a show and that's what I'm going to get into. So here he is. This is how he looks like about a week ago or something like that, more than a week ago. And here with two times champ Brian Ansley in the gym. So let us see what he looks like as of more recently. Here on his Instagram, so this is what he looked like recently, a little bit of posing. This is what he looked like probably after a workout. This was like October 20th, practicing posing after a workout. So how does he look? He doesn't look bad, he looks good. I'm just thinking about the legs, how it's going to look, if there's going to be anything noticeable in terms of the symmetry. But his upper body looks pretty decent. I think he's 2 weeks out, well, a week out now from a show. I'm not entirely sure what that show is. I guess I'm gonna have to do a follow-up on that. Just been busy with so much other stuff. Let's see if he says which show he's gonna do. Didn't say. And this is more recent, like 6 days ago. Mega arm workout on his channel, and this is more recent, like 3 days ago. So yeah, so I wish him all the best with his show, and I really hope that he places well. And even when the show says he's had a real comeback story, back and forth, a lot of adversities, and he's still there, he's still doing his thing, and he's still trying to get it done. So I admire this kind of persistent consistency and not giving up and go getting after what you want, regardless of what happened, what decision you might have made, and anything of such, you know. So best of luck to him. I hope you guys made it this far. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and please hit the bell button, give the video a thumbs up. Until my next video, guys, peace and take care.